When I went to the theater this week to see Alex Garland's new film, Civil War, I was incredibly excited. I've been a big fan of Alex Garland since Ex Machina and Annihilation, and this new film was getting great reviews. But as the credits rolled and I began to process what I had just seen, I couldn't help but feel disappointment, and not just because I couldn't f*** my popcorn bucket. The plot of Civil War revolves around 4 journalists navigating an America mired in violence, division, and horrible traffic. Their primary objective is to travel to Washington, D.C. to photograph and interview the president, played by Nick Offerman. And that's basically it. Sure, we do get some interesting set pieces and sequences, including the much hyped scene featuring Jesse Plemons playing a sunglasses enthusiast, but that's kind of it. There's no mystery to unravel, no big twists, no big revelations about our characters. But hey, not every piece of media needs to be as dramatic as an episode of Maury.
Bring out the olive!
But if you're going to deprioritize the story, you should probably invest some time in character development, especially to make sure that your audience doesn't feel like... For whatever reason, I never really connected with these characters. I never found a way to relate their emotional experiences back to my own. I mean, I've never been in a war, I've never been a journalist. The closest I've come to fighting for my life is Friday nights after I'm 3 chalupas deep. But maybe I'm just nitpicking. Sure, the characters are a bit flat. Sure, the plot is a bit thin. Maybe it's not a big deal. Alex Garland's previous films also have similar issues, but they've been elevated by their themes and ideas. Which raises the question, what are the themes and ideas presented in Civil War? That's gonna take some time to answer. Just kidding, there's basically fucking nothing. In order to better understand exactly what Garland's trying to communicate with this film, I decided to go to YouTube and do some research, watching interviews he's given promoting the film. And after 5 hours of Liberty Mutual ads, one theme kept coming up over and over.
The side is centrism versus extremism. That's my side.
Left and right, just to be clear about it, are ideological arguments about how to run a state. That's all they are.
I'm a centrist. I do not like extremism.
Garland's central thesis is that extremism on both sides of the political divide is a serious threat to modern societies. A really interesting argument, if only it were in the fucking film. The other argument that Garland makes is that we need to set aside our political differences and band together like Texas and California do in the film.
Texas and California have joined forces. And what they've said is our political differences are less important than this issue, which is fascism. Because Texas and California have more in common than they have different.
But haven't we heard these calls for civility before? Haven't we had politicians appeal to our better angels time and time again? How have they fared?
Please clap.
Even the current president has prioritized bipartisanship and said the, quote, GOP fever would break. How's he doing?
President Biden's approval rating hitting a new all-time low.
But maybe Garland is right. Maybe we need a shock to the system. If only we could see violence at our doorstep, I'm sure people would wake up. They'd say, no, we need to band together. People from all sides of the political spectrum would come together and condemn this horrific behavior. The Costco hot dog would be $1.50. Games would not be buggy upon release. It would be an incredible time, a time of unity, a time of peace, a time of harmony. And the entirety of our country would stand together and say, no, we don't want fascism. Our politics are less important than staying the United States of America.
Republican frontrunner and former President Donald Trump increasing his lead.
Cool.